Hi, friends. Welcome to another chapter of the series Free English Lessons. I am David Basantes Fierro, SLT, second language teacher. Please remember to follow us and subscribe to our YouTube channel for more and more free English lessons. Today, we're going to be checking about adjectives. Most of the time, this is for level A1, but this is useful for all the levels, starting from A1 to B2 and C1 as well. Okay, so let's understand what an adjective is, okay? Adjectives. Adjectives tell us something about a person or a thing. Adjectives can modify nouns or pronouns or names. For example, Mandy is a careful girl. Mandy is careful. She is careful. Another example, this is a nice car. The car is nice. It is nice. Here, the adjectives are careful and nice. Let's continue. Adjectives can have two locations or positions in a sentence: the attribute position and the predicative position. Let's start with the attribute position. An adjective can be put before the noun, then it is an attribute. For example, Mandy is a careful girl. This is a nice car. If you see, we have the sequence careful girl, nice car. This sequence is called attribute. On the other hand, we have the predicative position. An adjective can be put after the verb to be, which can be is, are, or am. This is called predicative position. For example, the girl is careful. The car is nice. Let's continue. Adjectives can go after the following verbs: appear, become, feel, get, go, keep, turn, look, smell, sound, taste. Normally, verbs use adverbs, but in this case of this group of verbs, we can use adjectives. For example, I feel great. She looks good. It seems impossible. The steak smells fantastic. They go crazy. The music sounds bad. All right. Please take a time to copy this list of verbs and memorize this list. Let's continue. Adjectives can be used without nouns with the article the for generalizations or nationalities. For example, the rich, meaning the rich people, all the rich people. You can call them just the rich. Here we have some other examples. The good must be put in the dish. The bad you may eat if you wish. For example, this is a part of a poem. Another sentence. The Scottish live in the north of the United Kingdom. In this case, the good and the bad were referring to all the good people and all the bad people. This is a generalization. In this case, the Scottish, we're talking about the people from Scotland, right? And we're referring to all of them as a generalization, and also there's a nationality. Let's continue. So right now we're going to be talking about active and passive adjectives. Active, also called present adjectives, end in ing, and passive, also called past adjectives, they end in ed. So they are adjectives ending in ing and ed. Here are some examples. The book is interesting. Here, interesting is an active adjective. Or, she is interested. This is a passive adjective. So let's talk about the active adjectives that end in ing. For example, yesterday I read an amusing story in a magazine. Doris has a boring job. The end of the film was really exciting for me. You see, all these adjectives end in ing because there is something creating an effect. Now, in the passive adjectives, they end in ed. For example, I was not at all amused by the discussion. Children get bored very quickly. We watched the group of excited people. And here, if you notice, all the adjectives end in ed because this is referring to something that receives an action or receives the effect of other thing. So in here, they describe the creator of an effect, and here we describe the receiver of an effect. Let's continue. Two or more adjectives can be used together. Yes, you can use more than one adjective in front of a noun. For example, a fat old car. Yeah, you can say that. You can put them after the verb to be, for example, in this example here. But in this case, you have to use a word and, right? In the place between the last two adjectives. If you want to use, for example, three. In this case, we have two adjectives, fat and old. Fat old car. But if you use three or more, you have to use between the last two the word and. For example, it was cold, wet, and windy. All right, let's continue. Now, if you may, you can put even more than three adjectives, even more. So for that, you need to understand that adjectives are classified in different categories. Number one, and number two, each category has a particular order of apparition that we have to respect. For example, the adjectives determiner, the determiner adjectives, and then we have the opinion adjectives, then we have the size adjectives, then we have the shape, weight, or length adjectives, then we have condition adjectives, then we have age adjectives, then we have color adjectives, we have then pattern adjectives, then we have origin adjectives, and we have then material adjectives, and finally purpose, qualifier, or use adjectives. Let's quickly read some of these adjectives, right? Determining adjectives or determiner adjectives can be a, and, the, my, your, for, those, some, etc. There are more, but this is an example. We have other opinion adjectives: beautiful, boring, stupid, delicious, useful, lovely, comfortable. And in size adjectives, we can have these examples: big, small, tall, huge, tiny. In shape or weight or length adjectives, we have round, square, circular, skinny, fat, heavy, straight, long or short. Then in condition adjectives, we have broken, cold, hot, wet, hungry, rich, easy, difficult, dirty. In age adjectives, we have, for example, old, young, new, ancient, antique. In color, we have green, white, blue, reddish, purple. In pattern adjectives, we have stripped, spotted, checked, flowery, for example. There are more, but this is a short example. And let's talk about the origin, right? It can be, for example, American, British, Italian, Eastern, Australian, Chilean. Material, for example, gold or golden, wooden, silk, paper, synthetic, cotton, woolen. And finally, in the purpose qualifier or use, we have sleeping, for example, sleeping bag, gardening, for gardening gloves. In this case, we have to just put it together here. Shopping, in the case of shopping, bag, or wedding, like wedding dress. Okay, so here I have created some examples. Some are incorrect and some are correct. For example, let's start with this. In this sentence I'm going to present, we are using all the categories of adjectives in the proper order. For example, we have a beautiful, small, circular, broken, ancient, blue, spotted, Italian, golden, gardening flower pot. So you can see all the adjectives and they are respecting the order of each category in the correct order. If you do that, that is correct. If you alter the order or this sequence that you have here, that would be incorrect. For example, this, we have a blue, spotted, gardening, beautiful, small, circular, broken, ancient, Italian, golden flower pot. Although you have the same adjectives, but they are in the incorrect order. So therefore, the sentence is not correct. You have to respect this order or this sequence. Now, of course, if you don't want, it's not an obligation to use all of these categories. We have this other shorter sentence. For example, we have a beautiful circular Italian flower pot. Now, in this case, we are respecting the corresponding sequence, although we're not using all of it. Now, remember, if you alter the order, that would be incorrect. For example, this, we have a circular Italian beautiful flower pot. Although you have the same adjectives, they are in incorrect order. So that sentence is incorrect. So anyway, remember to memorize this order and these categories. We're going to give you a list of adjectives in the correct order and categories, okay? In the link in the description. Let's just continue. Very quickly, we're going to be checking these categories, all right? So determiner, it can be singular or plural, definite or indefinite. And then here you have the examples we had just presented. Opinion, basically it says what do you think about something. It can be beautiful, boring, stupid, delicious, and so on and so forth, okay? Then the next, the size, it tells us how big or small something is. And here you have the examples. Shape, weight, and length. It indicates the shape, the form, how long or how short something is. And here we have the examples. The condition states or says the situation, condition of something, the state of something, how it is. Is it broken? Is it cold, hot, hungry? Okay, and here you have more examples. Of course, the age, we're talking about time, but in how old something is. Color, it's just the colors, basically. Pattern, if there is any design that you can detect in the object or the thing, right? The origin, it's where something is from. And here you have the examples. The material, as the word says, is what material is it made of, okay? And finally, the purpose qualifier or use, what is it for? And most of the time in this category, the adjectives, all of them end in ing, like sleeping bag, gardening gloves, shopping bag, or wedding dress. Yeah, remember, check in the description and list of adjectives with the categories that we're going to give you. Let's continue. Well, finally, here we have a brainstorm that you should copy to study, okay, with all the things we just studied about the adjectives. So let's start with here, okay? So adjectives modify a person, a thing, nouns, pronouns, or names. For example, this one here, Mandy is careful or she's careful, okay? The adjectives can have two positions, attribute position or predicative position, right? The attribute position is before a noun, like here, nice car. The predicative position is after the verb to be, right? Is nice. Yeah, remember we have these two different positions of adjectives. Then we have the case that in some verbs it's possible to use adjectives, and these are the verbs: appear, become, feel, get, go, keep, turn, look. Well, not look alike, not really. Okay, look, smell, sound, taste. Okay. Also, we can use the adjective with the word the article the, for generalizations or nationalities. For example, the Scottish, right? All of referring to all the people that live in Scotland, right? The Scottish live in the north, let's say, for example. Okay. Let's continue. That you can use two or more adjectives, but if you use two or more adjectives, you have to respect this sequence. First, you mentioned the determiner. Second, the opinion. Third, the size. Fourth, the shape, weight, or length. Fifth, the condition. Sixth, the age. Seventh, the color. Eighth, the pattern. 9, the origin. 10, the material. And then the in 11th position, the purpose, qualifier, or use. Again, take a time to copy this chart and this brainstorm and study. Remember that we're going to give you free online exercises and a list of adjectives to download from the description. If you are watching us on Instagram, maybe the description is in the upper part. And if you're watching us on YouTube or Facebook, the description is down below. Again, don't forget to subscribe and follow us on Instagram and IGTV and Facebook, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. See you in the next video. Thank you very much.